Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today we have another DougDoug video. This is, can you shield surf down all of Hyrule Castle in Breath of the Wild? I mean, you should be able to, but I guess there's going to be limitations on how you do it. This was one of DougDoug's earlier videos, so he puts a lot more, he has a lot more leeway on how he does some of this stuff. Whereas some of his newer Twitch stuff, holy fuck. It's just not hard. It gets harder and harder and harder, if not impossible. So let's see what kind of limitations there are in this video. My guess is, yeah, he can do it. It just depends on what limitations he put in.
Where we solve problems that no one has.
It's not you don't solve problems, you create problems.
Today, we're telling the story of Doug Readin, a man who tried to break the world record for the largest wave ever surfed by shield surfing down all of Hyrule Castle.
Wait, what? This is a legitimate thing?
Break the world record.
No. Okay. This is he pulled the link for like the actual an actual Guinness World Record holder for an actual wave. All right.
For the largest wave ever surfed by shield surfing down all of Hyrule Castle in Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, at this time in 2018, the world record for the largest wave ever surfed was an 80-foot wave in Portugal by Brazilian surfer Rodrigo Koxa.
Okay.
But Doug Readin was an avid shield surfer in Zelda, and he thought he could beat that by shield surfing down all of Hyrule Castle.
So Doug's last name is Readin? Interesting.
Hyrule Castle is, of course, the most dangerous area in the game. It's filled with enemies, but it is 1,300 feet tall. So if you could surf from the top of the castle all the way down to the front gates in one go, it would break the record for the largest wave ever surfed by over 16 times. But for...
Yeah, that's a fucking reach. I'm going to compare a video game surf wave to a real one. Obviously, this is a joke, but still.
This to actually count as a surfing world record, it has to follow the 3 rules of the International Surfing Association. First, this must be a single unbroken shield surf, meaning that during the entire trip down Hyrule Castle, the shield cannot leave Link's feet at any point. Second, you have to stay on the main castle paths. This is to prevent you just jumping off and skipping things. Lastly, you cannot kill any calamity goop or guardians before starting. These are considered part of the core.
Huh. That's an interesting last one. Like, I think 2 is also wrong. 3 doesn't seem right. Now, to be fair, this was as of 2018, so the rules may have changed since then.
You cannot kill any calamity goop or guardians before starting. These are considered part of the course and must not be removed beforehand. And so on that faithful day, Doug began to surf.
Oh, jeez. Fateful day. How many days we talking here?
All right, so we're starting at the very top of Hyrule Castle. Gonna follow the path all the way down. All right.
There's a lot of guardians on that path. All right.
Let's do it. We'll start right when it hits the downward slope.
Yeah, you gotta get out of the way of that thing. Oh, lucky.
Whoa. Shit. Right at the beginning, there's this...
I can't remember. There should be a gap there, right?
Wall of goop. And Rodrigo Koxa thought his world record was safe. So this wall is obviously a problem. I wonder if I can skate through it.
Yeah, I think you can, right? Yeah.
Okay, so you definitely can.
Okay, so it doesn't force you to. I was pretty sure that it didn't force you there, because like some of this game will give you like, yeah, there's a big enough gap right there, and there's a fucking invisible wall, and you're like, oh, that's bullshit. That's for a lot of games. I get shot. Ooh, so far okay. I guess there's an upside. At least he's allowed to fucking jump. Imagine if he couldn't jump.
Come on, come on. No!
Okay, so him being able to use the glider, I know it's kind of required based off of how Hyrule Castle kind of works, but that still kind of feels a little like a little cheating there.
Damn it. At this point, Doug realized how hard it is to surf through a flat stone coliseum. You have to make a sharp left turn here, and shield surfing is really not meant for that. So you easily lose momentum and fall off.
Right.
So you can kind of turn while shield jumping, it looks like.
He realized that if you try to turn too sharply while parajumping, then you'll fall off the shield. But if you keep your turn more gradual, then Link won't fall off. You can keep your momentum, and then you can nail this turn consistently.
Okay.
Okay, seems doable.
Okay, so I guess he doesn't have a choice because there's no way past that section without using the paraglider. Or is it the paraglider? It's the glider. They change the name occasionally. Or I'm confusing other games. That's also possible. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to bypass that corner or a couple of the corners without. Okay, so he might be screwed unless he makes adjustments.
Ready to roll.
It's kind of like pushing the line forward, though, right? How many times can you push it?
Come on, come on. Yes. Nice, 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 nice. All right, so left turn up here. This is the detour spot. At this point, there's a huge goop wall that completely blocks the main path. So instead, you're forced left down this side path. The side path is extremely long and treacherous. There's lots of guardians and narrow sections, but it will loop around literally the entire castle and then connect you back with the main path.
No. Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, without the ability to basically jump and force yourself forward, this would be fucking impossible, like literally impossible. So yeah, there's definitely some some leeway in his rule set here, but okay, fine. What the hell was that? Did that always happen? I can't remember that.
Oh shit, and then it gets really uphill here.
I don't know if he can actually make it.
This is too uphill. Shit. Or was it?
I guess he could paint his temporary queens forever. He could. So I guess kind of how that world kind of works is there's like this weird area where you can like shove yourself against the wall and it can kind of force you up any edge without actually breaking whatever animation you're currently in. So there is that. Basically, if he shoves himself to the left against the wall, he might be able to do it, but there might be another way. You can use that ability to like get to really unscalable high places in that game that you shouldn't be able to get to in certain points. It's a lot of fun. You can bypass certain areas.
This does not look possible. Damn. This whole thing is super steep and just goes on for way too long. I wonder, though.
Oh, no, that's bypassing, though, isn't it?
Maybe I can jump off of the main path. Looks like I could actually veer
I thought the rule was you had to stay on the path.
left, jump off the cliff, and drop down onto the side path, and I would skip just that tiny slanted part. So now the strategy is make it around the first bend, then jump off the cliff, and land on the side path just above that stupid...
See, that's like, just pushing it forward until you can just make it anyway, regardless of what. So I'm going to still say you can't shield surf down the entire Hyrule Castle without making crazy adjustments to your rules.
Super steep part. Wait, what? Jump off the cliff and land on the side path just above that super steep part. But the three rules of the International Surfing Association clearly state that you must stay on the main paths. You can't just jump off. That's cheating. Jump off the cliff and land on the side path just above that super steep part. So you cheated. Jump off the cliff.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad this is in here.
Land on the side path just above that super steep part. Okay. Okay, yeah. We'll cheat. And we'll bribe the International Surfing Association. Welcome to DougDoug,
That makes more sense. Okay.
where we solve problems that no one has. Today, we're telling the story of Doug Readin, a man who broke the world record for largest wave ever surfed by shield surfing down all of Hyrule Castle. Now, for this to actually count, he had to follow the 2 rules of the International Surfing Association. It must be 1 unbroken...
I'm like, how the fuck are you gonna pull this off if you're just gonna cheat and keep pushing? Okay, all right. This works. This works perfect. Okay, a single unbroken surf and can't. Okay, fine. That's fine. That's still an unbroken surf, even if you're allowed to jump off. But in theory, you could just jump off from the fucking top of the castle and just land at the bottom.
Broken surf, and the guardians and goop cannot be killed beforehand. After getting through the first goop wall, Doug had found a way to jump off the main path and land on the side path below. All right, looking good. Come on, come on, come on.
Is that enough?
Yes.
Yeah, it should be enough.
This could be a problem. Now the side path continues on for a very long time, including guardians, uphill sections, and trees.
Ooh, that was a good good dodge point right there.
No, 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 no! Even after
That was like attempt 707.
the trees, there are these long, flat stretches with guardians that you have to get through. Come on, come on.
And those trees almost fucked him over way too many times. Well, I guess bribing does work, right?
Nice. There we go. Okay. Now we're looking good.
I forgot how many guardians were in this thing. Jeez. Like, you don't really think about it when you can actually, like, take them out.
Come on, come on, come on. No!
Attempt 9 equals 12. Oh, you got it this
is
time,
good.
I think.
Yes. And with the whole side path completed, Doug was now almost at the end of the castle. Went on through the next Colosseum, around the final path bend, and then... All right. This is the tail end. I'm almost there.
I forgot how this whole section worked, though.
Hell? This
Yeah.
goop wall at the
I
very
think you can go to the right.
end was impassable. Dude, this is just like a straight up blockade. After all of Doug's training, his persistence, and the blatant cheating, it was all over. The only other
think
thought
you
I have
go-
is,
Can you go to the left?
could you shoot and kill the eyeball and clear all the goop while surfing? Let's try it. So this actually almost works, but if you shoot the eyeball, it'll take almost 5 seconds before the wall of goop actually disappears, and Link runs into the wall before then. But if you had a way to slow down...
So by pulling back on it? Oh. Okay,
you
so
break. I didn't realize
he can probably do it then. Kind of.
you could break. And that was the breakthrough, no pun intended. If you break on your shield, you can slowly navigate along the wall until those 5 seconds are up, the goop disappears.
You know, breaking probably could have helped in a lot of other ways with this. Although, because of how the Guardians work, it may have been worse because the only reason he survived a lot of those attacks, the Guardians couldn't aim quick enough.
And you can surf on through. Okay. So that will do it. Okay. It's doable. But to pull off a maneuver this tricky would take some serious training.
I thought it was going to say Gandalf. I don't know why. I knew. Of course it's going to be Ganondorf. I do like the fact that a lot of his older videos, he when he was doing like challenge resets, he would actually restart from the very beginning. Versus some of his newer videos, he actually saves and then restarts at that save point, even though he's already, completed half the challenge or whatever. I understand why, though. His newer challenges are so fucking complex and insane that to start over from scratch every single time would be insane. It would just probably become boring to his
Finally,
chat.
Doug was ready. Okay, let's do this.
This game was so fun. It's gonna be final attempt times 6. I wonder if you could actually, if you're going to cheat like that anyway, I bet you that you could have gone back a little bit further and skipped that whole uphill portion. There's that like gap where the, there's like a gap point like slightly back further that could have worked for that. There's like a castle wall area, but it actually has like a gap in it. So you could have actually jumped the edge and been almost up on top of that hill, I think. Although that gap point that I'm thinking of might still go up a hill a little bit, which may have made it worse. I don't know. It's right after the goop line. Imagine if he gets almost the end and just gets shot in the face.
Come on, come on, come on.
Or maybe shot in the back. It'd be more likely.
Okay, almost there, almost there.
I kind of wish developers put more like achievements in for doing stupid, crazy shit like this. Yeah, shield surf down the entire thing, but then like forcibly locked you into a certain like only one person ever could do it. They're like, yeah, we figured this out. We used a tool assisted program to see if it was even possible. It is possible. Just may not be by humans.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Mm-hmm. Slow and steady. Okay. Oh, I think this is it.
It's gonna get shot.
Fuck yeah.
It's fine.
Nice.
Sorry, hitting the door ruins it.
He had done it. And Rodrigo Koxa was fucking pissed. He was like, that's a big ass castle, but he's earned that world record. Doug held the record for almost 14 years, until in 2018, newcomer Doug broke it by flying off the top of Hyrule Castle and surfing down that big pillar thing. And Rodrigo Koxa was like, all right, cool, but these records don't really seem to be related to surfing anymore. Doug had the record for almost 10 years, until famous surfer Elon Musk broke the record by 30,000 times when he surfed a rocket all the way to Mars.
Well, at least we know some of that might be true and some of that is a lie. Yeah, that was a DougDoug video. If you haven't seen DougDoug videos, which I assume if you're on my channel you have, don't watch my stuff. Go watch DougDoug's, obviously. All right. Have a good day, everyone.